All right, hi. Welcome to Shell's Pearls of Wisdom. I am here with my sister. I'm going to be interviewing this strong Black woman who I have thought for many years now are one of my inspirations. She is not only a mother of four, but she's a wife of over almost 20 years now. And she not only has climbed a career ladder and gone back to college and all these great things, but her children are thriving. They're smart, and her eldest is on her way to college, which is kind of scary, but
Yeah.
amazing. So I just want to start with that. How old were you when you had your first child?
I was 17. Yeah.
Okay, and how old is she now?
She is now 18. She'll be 19 in September. Crazy.
And how does that make you feel?
Old. I joke with my friends a lot. I say, I should not have an 18-year-old. I'm too young for this.
I am second that motion.
Yeah.
So, and then you have who? Then you had another child, and you had a little boy. And how old is he?
He is 15. He will be 16 in September. I'm sorry, in July.
July.
Almost forgot his birthday. That's
It's okay.
that's when
I
we
do
know
good.
we've had too many.
I do good calling the right person into the room. Because sometimes I call the wrong kid, and I'll be like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Well, you called me." I'm like, "I didn't mean you. I meant your
I
brother.
didn't
You
need
know
you.
who I meant. You know who
Right.
I meant.
The other one.
The other one. The other one that looked like your daddy. That one. Get that one." Um. So with that being said, you know, it's hard being a God. It's hard being a young mom. It's
Yeah,
very hard to
very.
go through that struggle. And I know you said that you had your first one at 17. I had my first one at 19, and my son will be 20 in November. And my biggest accomplishment right now as a parent, like you think like, oh, I want to get them through like, potty training. I want to see them walk, and I want to see them like all these things. My thing
Right,
was like, I want you not to have a kid by the time I had a kid.
right.
I
Like,
want to get
I'm
you
not trying to be a grandma.
right. Like I just want to get you past that. And as soon as my son turned 19, I was like, yes, you made it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I just wanted to stop that, what is, not
That
that, not
cycle.
cycle. There you go. I wanted
Yeah.
to stop the cycle because, I love my kids and I love being married, but it's not the easiest, it wasn't the easiest road I chose. It just
Yeah.
wasn't. So, how do you feel about that? Being a young mom and getting married young and
It was definitely it's definitely been a challenge. As we discussed, I did have my first daughter. I was a senior in high school, so I had her at the beginning of my senior year. I missed a lot of the beginning of school with her coming right as school started. So I missed my senior homecoming. There was a lot of things that I missed with that. And then 3 years later, having my son. So it was really a struggle with being able to go to college because I wasn't able to go straight from high school to college. I had to detour. And so it was just a road that wasn't easy, but it was uh influential to say the least. So,
that makes sense.
and I do believe that things happen and you detour from things and they happen for a reason. So,
The one of the questions I get asked a lot, like a lot, by young, old, different races, it doesn't matter. As soon as they see myself, because we both look young, I mean, black don't crack. So as soon as they see myself and I'm with one of my kids, because they're big now, of course, they look much, bigger and older, and they're taller than me and all that kind of good stuff. So they always say like, "How old are you?" Like, you look too young to have a kid that's like 18, 20 years old. That's crazy. And then the next question is followed because people are ignorant. They assume I'm a single mom. They assume that since I have more than one kid, that I have to have like different baby daddies and like all these stereotypes
Right.
of you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's and the first thing I say is, well, first of all, my kids have the same father.
Right.
And second of all, I am married. So just because I am this black, beautiful woman in front of you with children of older age and I'm still young does not mean I went out there and just had this moment. So have you ever experienced that kind of, I don't want to say it's racist, but I kind of feel like it's a little bit of racism and a little bit of just like judgmental people. Like, have you experienced that?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's racist. It's more stereotyping
Mm-hmm.
of the young black woman with multiple children, or if you are at an event and you are by yourself with your children, it's always that look like, oh, she got all those kids and we're their dads, or things like that. No one has in my case ever come to me and said that, and I think it's just more so my persona, like that don't try me look that I kind of have. But no one has really like said that. I have been asked the question before if all my children have the same father, because I have 4 children and I have a range. They're like age range, and it's like, yeah, I've been with that fool for like 20 years.
Right.
So,
It's
they
but
all
do you
have,
get like the kind of like the oh okay like they
yeah,
weren't
yeah. So I'm like,
expecting
oh, that's interesting, or that's good.
yeah
Like
yeah
it's a surprise.
right or like we should get a cookie for it like
Yeah, good
no
for you kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah okay because I just thought maybe it was me. I thought maybe I just gave off that
Nah.
vibe. It's nice to know that it's not because
Yeah,
I
girl.
don't know how many times I'll be like, would you
Yeah.
ask me this if I was white? I mean, what kind of question is that? Like, are you
I think more so it happens like if you are out, as mothers, and that we do a lot of things. We are both married to introverts that really don't like to do anything. So
nothing?
um as the social butterflies, we always out and got the
Mhm.
kids, somewhere. So it's that image of having those children and not being seen with that male figure
Mhm.
is just more of a stereotype. And I think that, like I said, I don't think it's really a colored thing, because I've
Mhm.
seen white girls, out there like
Yeah.
that.
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
know if they've been approached that way or not, but um, definitely have gotten the question before
Yeah.
regarding whether or not they all have the same dad.
Right. Okay. So, just so you guys know out there that are watching, because I have a large demographic of everything, but I have a lot of Caucasian friends that are just personally my friends that have followed me, and they've never, none of them have ever approached the situation, but they also knew me personally. So if they knew who I was married to, they knew like my situation.
Right.
But just to kind of like give that to people that are watching, it is a stereotype type of question to ask,
Mhm.
and it is okay to ask, but it is the way you approach it, because there is a disrespectful way, and then there is an inquisitive way. So just to put that out there. My other question to you would be, now that you are older and we're taking off the table that we, of course, we love our kids and we would never go back. But if you could go back and do it differently, would you do it differently?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I really can't say I would. Um, I think that I would not have the strength that I have today
Hmm.
if I were to go back and do it different. Um, I have just a fighting spirit within me that I don't think would be as vibrant if I had done it differently. Now, logically, yes, if you want to think from a logical perspective, would I have gone through the whole college campus experience and all of that, all of those different things? Yeah. But just like from making myself into the woman that I am today, I think all of those struggles and all of those things, that path that I actually went through, it has put me in a position to be where I am today. I don't think that had I done anything different, I would know the people, I would have crossed paths with the people that I've crossed paths with that have been very influential to me. So I don't really think I would.
Okay. Now, that's interesting because I kind of have like not an opposite view, but I kind of have like a similar but opposite view, because I tell my kids all the time, if I could have you, like you guys, and I know I'm gonna have you guys, same personalities, same cute, like if I knew I could have you guys again, I would just wait. I would
Yeah,
just wait it. I would have just waited, and it's nothing against them. It's nothing against none of that. It's just
right.
I just didn't get to. I didn't get
Yeah,
that part of my life. You
yeah,
know, I didn't get that, and it saddens me a little bit, and it only saddens me when I get to live through my kids' eyes, and I get to experience their life, through what they're going through, and then I kind of sit there and I'm like, gosh, that would have been fun. That would have been nice to be able to go off
yeah,
to college and
yeah,
have those adventures. Like that's the only time when I start to kind of like feel in my feelings. I feel a certain kind of way.
yeah,
Um, Other than that, I agree with you. If I would have did things differently, I might not have found like the person that I have in my life that I love, and I might not have found. I might not have beat certain health issues that I've overcame. I'm not. I mean, we can play that game all day, the the what if game. So I do believe you when you say that it has put you in a path of success that you're in right now, and you do have to sometimes face struggle to accomplish something. So
yeah. Because it really, to me, it all just goes back for me, because I'm a firm believer in God and everything that He has planned for us. Um, so I do believe that nothing is a surprise.
mhm,
Um, that this path was laid out already,
yeah,
you know. And so He knew everything that was going to happen in my life before it even happened.
yeah,
Um, and so that's
yeah.
just
I mean, look at you. You're a testament of this, because there's many times that in theory we should not have made it.
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
it's we should not have made it. We should not be here. So it's kind of cool to be even able to sit across from a computer and talk to you like this and even share these experiences, because it could have been the complete opposite. So
Right.
it's kind of cool.
Right. And
So
so we wouldn't have gotten where we are today.
hell no, we didn't like each
So,
other. We didn't like each other. We almost fought in our sister laws for y'all before.
so
we
couldn't
we
couldn't be in the
we
same vicinity of each other. So
like,
I
but
mean,
you know what? That we were young. Like we were 19. We were teenagers.
yeah,
We were bona fide teenagers. Just because we
basically.
were just because we were parents and wise didn't mean that we were mature. We just meant that we were married and we had kids. That's all.
True, true.
So
So it
yeah.
definitely, in talking about, just paths and being grateful for your path. I am I'm grateful for the path that I took. And my camera's losing. Losing you here.
I
Okay.
can see it. There you go.
Okay. Sorry,
uh,
guys.
just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a background on Danika too, because she's not shy, but she doesn't talk about herself a lot because she's
Nope.
kind of humble, which is good. She's a very humble person. So just to kind of give you a little bit more, because she's humble, she has, when I say, and I'm trying not to get emotional because I'm the big baby out of everybody. When I say, when I say struggles are not new to our family, meaning like it's just not new. It's not new to the people that we married into. And I call her my outlaw. She's my sister, but she's my instead of my sister-in-law, I call her my outlaw because we both married into the family. So we are more like we both came from different backgrounds and then we married into this one unit. And this unit runs very differently, at least from how I was raised, just because their situation and circumstances have led them to their path. So it's like she said, they're very introverts and we are experts. So we are very loud personality. We like to have fun. We don't mind intermingling with people that we really don't know. And we're kind of both married to a person who rather be homebody. Uh, they're perfectly content being at home, darkness
Around people they know.
yeah, only people that they know and are comfortable with. And some of those people sometimes they don't want to be bothered with. So it's like kind of hard. But at the same time, she has been the holder down of her family. And that is just the truth of the beast. Even though she's always been married to somebody who worked and put in hard days work, sometimes she worked 2, 3 jobs. And that was just what she had to do to survive. It wasn't about like, oh, I just love working all day. No, it was because this is what I had to do. This is what I was put in place to do. I want to take care of my family. And her kids are not spoiled, but they don't go for without for nothing. They have everything that they need, and they have a lot of stuff that they want too. And that's because she held it down. That's because of the extraness that she might have put in, the extra hours, the overtime. And even though as parents or as mothers, not to say fathers don't do this too, but mothers are very much more humble, and we kind of sit in the background and we let our men kind of like take that front role of like the breadwinner and the person who does this and that. But a lot of the time, it's the woman, the wife, the mother that is the true backbone of the family. And I don't know if you agree with that, but I honestly, being an outsider looking in, I completely see that in you. You have always held your family down, and that is something that has given me more respect for you than anything else. And I just want to just commend you on that. So, um, with that being said,
I
now
appreciate
she works.
that.
Huh?
Your words, not mine.
I
I
know,
said I
like I
appreciate
said,
that. And I said
that's
your
why I
words,
said
not
it. That's why I
mine.
said she's never gonna say it because she's too humble and she's like that, and I love it about her too because that's what makes her special. But someone has to say it, and I'm gonna say it. I noticed it. I recognize it. I've seen it all my life, knowing you. Even when we weren't cool, you still were that person. So that's never really changed. And to tell someone at a young age that you got to go get a job, now you got to pay some bills, you got to do all this adult stuff, and you're still a kid yourself, you're either going to fail or you're going to make it, and you made it. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I don't talk you. So I'm going to touch on while we're talking about it. You saying I'm never going to talk about it. I don't talk about myself. I don't do that because if I do something, I do it because it's within me and I have that heart to do it. I'm never going to be that person that's going to do something for acknowledgement or I'm not doing something so you can say good job, or you did this or thank you. No, it's because that's what I want to do and that's what was in my heart to do. As a human being, we always get that point where you may think in your mind, well, if you're pissed off and you're to the max, with what you can handle, there may come a time and you're just like, I've done XYZ and why can't this person just, realize it? But you don't necessarily say it out loud to them, but you think it. But that's the human side of things,
exactly.
but you don't do it with the intent of receiving accolades for it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So um that's just how I've always been. and that's one of the reasons why I have a hard time if I am struggling with something, or if there is something that I need. I do have a hard time with reaching out for help, because you have people that come back, and
Throw it in
the
your
help
face.
has to tell everybody that you asked for help. So
Yep.
I've never been that kind of person. If you help me, 50 people don't need to know that you helped me. So
And I agree.
I'd rather go
I
out and
think
do it myself.
I think that's something we share similar. I don't really tell people when we're struggling, whether it's financially, whether I'm in the hospital. A lot of times I get out of the hospital and be like, oh, by the way, because it's like, it's just, I'm just,
Right.
I'm just, I'm just living life. For other people, might be like, oh, but for me, that's just my life. So it's like,
Right.
I don't need that. But
Right.
I do believe as women, because I started this whole podcast for women, we need to congratulate and acknowledge us, plain and simple. We spent so many years beating each other down, putting each other down, and not giving each other the respect that we deserve as women. And I am just starting to realize how important that is. That I always felt like you wanted the acceptance of a man, you wanted the acceptance of like but that really is nothing. It's more about us uniting as women and showing each other that when you're down, I can help lift you up. And when I'm down, help me lift me up. Because that's what we are. We are the backbone of society. We're the backbone of the world. There wouldn't even be humans on this earth right now if it wasn't for us. Let's be real. So we have to do that more often. And I'm just taking this platform to tell you, my love, proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. Even when you make mistakes, your mistakes are still more grand than most people's accomplishments. So I just wanted to tell you that. And
Thank
that's it. So high five again. To move on from this, like I told you, like she's accomplished so much. So we're talking from a woman who started very small with small jobs, small roles, building herself up, starting from, she's worked in many like fast food chains to she worked in, I think you worked for like the government for a little bit. And then you landed at a Claire's, is it called? Or the brown shoes company, right? Is that what it's called?
It used to be Brown Shoe Company, yes.
Okay. So she started with a role there and now has advanced quite far up the chain. And I feel like you did it pretty quickly too, if I do say so. I think
Um,
so.
so I've been there. I'm in my 7th year there. I started in the call center there. And so I'm actually in my 6th position. I was moved into 6 positions within 5 years.
That's
So
pretty that's pretty significant. I mean, I know you're like, it's no big deal.
I
I love how
mean,
you're like, oh yeah, it's been like
especially when it's
7 years.
not exactly where.
I know
Yeah,
you.
I mean, because I feel like I'm not exactly where I want to be yet. So
Okay.
this past year has been a little bit frustrating because I feel like I'm a little stagnant.
Okay.
I'm used to moving. I'm used to getting in, learning, mastering, and moving forward.
Right.
So just a lot of things have been transpiring. So it's been kind of like, okay, you got to be patient. You got to stay where you are for right now. And it's like, and no,
Yes.
I got more.
You're
I'm ready. So
just be patient because you've been patient this long.
yeah,
So just hold on. Like I feel like your bag is coming in. Just don't get frustrated. I know how you feel. Like sometimes you feel like you've hit the top of the lid and you're like, I don't know how much more I can keep hitting my head on this lid before I need to
right,
bust through. I get it. Just
right.
hang in there. It's coming. I feel it. I don't know what it is, but I feel it. And you're also in college, which is always a big thing. So how's that
A
going?
struggle. It's been a struggle. No, really, like this. I enrolled in January of 2018,
Mm-hmm.
and when I say it's been like struggle after struggle, since it seemed like every quarter I was going through something. Um, you know, I enrolled in January of 18, and then March of 18, everything started happening, and things, was like loss after loss after loss. And so even just last year, I lost 3 people within a month's time. So it was really rough in trying to keep up with that and trying to deal with, burying your loved ones, also trying to maintain your household, just trying to, be that rock for everybody else, when at the same time you are crumbling inside and you feel like you have nothing, that you can do to stop yourself from reeling. It's tough, but I haven't given up. I'm still I'm still going. And
you can't pause life for you to have like your moment. It would be so nice if you could just take a pause and be like, I just need a break, but you can't.
Yeah, so I mean, my expected graduation date is pushed back, but I'm like, at this point, I'm not pushing it as hard as I was in the beginning. I'm like, when I finish, I finish. I was trying to condense 4 years into a 2-year plan, and I was getting overwhelmed. So,
yeah, to kind of go along with the subject, not only is she in college and she's a mother of 2, but she has 2 more kids. And in that time frame of starting college and all that kind of stuff, she had a child in that time frame too. So not only are you not only working full time, huh?
I said right before.
Right. So this is her timeline. I've worked all my life. I've had multiple jobs at one time. I'm gonna go back to school. But not only am I going back to school with the intent of finishing and not just finishing, she wants to do well. Like she could just pass and say I did it. But she also wants to get like A's and shit. So not only are we now a mother of 2, but we're a mother of 4, and we still work full time, and we still have a husband to take care, and we still have our other family members, because she has like a mother, she has sisters and brothers and stuff like that. But on top of that, we're gonna throw like a little monkey wrench in there, and also just say, let's do college too. It's hard. I mean, I thought that you had a glutton for punishment. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? She's gonna. But then she kept doing it and she kept succeeding. So obviously, you're built like this. You're built to handle a load. Sometimes I think that you do need a break because everybody does, but you are built to handle a load, and that is just your personality and who you are. So for me, nah. No, I did the whole college thing, and I did it with just 2 kids, and they were older than her 2 youngest kids, and it still was a struggle. Like when they be like, "Hey, mommy, what's for dinner?" I'm like, "I don't think your legs or hands are broke. You better go bust some Cheerios in that bowl. I've got to do homework. Like, what do you want from me?" And this woman has not only still taking care of her family, but she still makes like full meals, and she makes sure her kids are like well taken care of. So it's hard. It's not easy. So yeah. I don't know how you do it, girl. I would have been in the insane asylum because I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Some days I don't know how I do it either.
I'll be in the corner rocking myself, crying.
Yeah. So
what we're wrapping up the first part of oh, I hear my peeps. I'm trying to like reach around the corner like I can see them. What the hell? What's wrong with me?
That's cool. Come here. Come and say hi.
Say hi. Hi.
Say hi.
Hi, baby. This is the man of the house right here. What up?
Say, how are you?
Good.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, boo boo. You are so big. Oh.
Say I love you.
I love you.
I love you too.
This is nice.
Okay, say bye-bye.
This is nice. Bye. And this is a prime example of how I don't understand how she gets anything done. Because she got a handful.
He's like, what you doing? What you doing? Like, go away.
So this is the first part of my interview with Danika, and I just want to give her the opportunity to, we talked about basically being a young parent, trying to like balance work, home, school, all these kind of things. If you have any pearls of wisdom to share with someone who is either going through something similar that you've gone through, or maybe will find themselves going through that, what would you give?
I would just say, stay prayed up. That's the best thing that you can do is stay prayed up. Like, there's going to be times where you feel like you don't have anything else left in you. You have to find something to hold on to that means something to you. You got to be able to pull in something and just hold on to it and pray over it and just continue to ask for that strength. That's all that I've been able to do.
And if you find yourself, I know I've lost faith many times just because when things are hard, you just sometimes you just can't find it. Like I don't know how to express it, but it's like you believe, but then in your mind you're like, why me? Or why do I have to struggle? So
Right.
It's like if you find yourself in that state of mind, how would you help, or how would you help someone get out of that?
You have to just, again, you're going to have to just hold on to something within yourself. Like, think about somebody else that's going through something way worse than you. For every situation that you deal with that's unbearable or that you think is unbearable, there's somebody that's dealing with something way worse than you. If it's something like your bills and you're finding a financial hardship, there's somebody who don't even have a place to have bills. So when you think about, you just spent money on food and you got to go to the store again. There's people who can't even go to the store because they don't have it. Right. And so I found myself thinking about that a lot more. Even just recently in my job, a good portion of us have taken a pay cut during this whole coronavirus thing.
Yeah.
And so I was part of the group that had to get a pay cut. But then there are also people who are out of work that they had to furlough them.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, I could have been in that group. You know what I'm saying? While it's not ideal for me right now, I just have to think about the other side of it. Yeah. And so I haven't always kept or I haven't always been positive and have always, I won't say that my faith has ever wavered, but I've gotten discouraged before and I have, questioned. But then you just have to sit silent for a while. Sit silent for a while.
Yep.
And you'll get the answers that you're looking for. So
yeah. Wow, like whew. God, girl. I got eyelashes on and shit. Don't do this to me. Don't make me cry, Danika. Come on now. Come on, okay?
You got me out here with my scarf on, girl. It's Saturday. It's Saturday.
Saturday.
You got nowhere to go. This head is a mess.
We ain't got nowhere to go. We're quarantined.
Nowhere to go. I'm sitting down here in my bar with nowhere to go.
At least you got a bar to sit down in. I ain't got nowhere. So we're gonna wrap up this first part. Please join me in the second part of the interview with the lovely Danika. Um,
I don't know how lovely I am today.
she's lovely. Everybody's lovely.
Look at the page, y'all see I'm cute for real.
She's
I'm cute in real life.
you cute now. She cute every day. Please, whatever. Shoot, I don't have no ugly family, so bye. Anyway, but
Okay.
so join me. Please hit like and subscribe down here at the bottom of your screen if you are interested in asking Danika any questions. I'm sure she'd be willing to help reach out to anybody if you have any concerns about your faith. She is a woman of God, and she takes it very seriously. I've talked to her many times about this subject, and you know, I'm not a big church goer, but she gets me to go to church every time I come out there to see her. She gets me to go.
It ain't gonna kill you.
It's not gonna kill me. It's never have. I just like my feet get a little warm when I walk through, but you know.
Long as you don't catch fire, we all right.
So join me for the second half, and everybody stay blessed. Bye.
Bye.